Hello and welcome to the eventual start of our stream. Well, I'm doing my best here, and I think it's satisfactory enough. And well, now your audio's coming through, so now the guests can hear you.
Okay,
So
that's good. That's the most
Perfect.
important.
Perfect. Yeah.
So we have Codasleuth, who is the transparent black box. We have
Hello.
Maddie, who is also known as NeonPurpleRaven, who is an integral
Weird.
part of the CVRE League. And we also have AndyW, a member of the Infinite team for Echo Arena. And then we have myself, and I'm done with the introductions.
Nice.
So we'd love to talk about the leagues, what got everyone interested in the leagues, what makes them tick, why they're so passionate about it. And I think Andy has some questions.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Is
we're
this
gonna
all
just
directed at me?
Pally!
now we're gonna start off with Maddie,
Oh, wonderful.
and then I guess we're gonna be working our way down into yeah. I guess I just wanted to start off with just we kind of talked a little bit before, but how long you've been with CVRE, and then how all of that kind of started for you, like how you got there.
Yeah, sure. It's been about 2 years now. Basically, so there was a group of guys over at Baylor University in Waco, Texas. They were interested in getting some VR esports put together. At that time, I was out at OC6, or just gotten back from OC6. Was watching people like Pally play on stage. Was getting really hyped about VR esports in general. Got it started with watching the Echo community, and we connected. And they basically said, "Hey, we want to start this league. We don't really have a plan for it, but we're just gonna do it." And it went from there. And we recruited the first couple of schools through in a group called ICXR, the Intercollegiate Mixed Reality Group. That was comprised of heads of VR clubs all over the U.S. and beyond. So recruited teams there. We had our first season. It was absolute chaos, like Wild West. We were all just learning. We were learning streaming. We were learning like playing the games. I think like at one point we were streaming with the computers that we were playing on. Like it was rough, but it was really fun, and we had a blast. And from there, we've just had a ton of teams join, and the community's grown really, really quickly, almost exponentially. And so, yeah, we're fielding our fourth season now. Still with Echo Arena and Beat Saber, and working on expanding the mentorship and teaching people how to play, teaching people how to cast, giving them opportunities to get involved in VR esports.
Yeah, it's super awesome, especially just seeing a lot of like the college eventually is like starting to pick up on this a lot, which going through my 4 years of college pretty much, right? Like this didn't really exist. Like there's some esport clubs or whatever, but this is really starting to take off. It's super cool to see. But what what would be like the introductory steps? How would you try to get like maybe your college to get involved in this or some sort of club group into it?
Yeah, so the level of involvement in the league it differs greatly amongst the teams. So we have some teams that are fully sponsored, fully supported university esports teams that are kind of playing underneath the banner of the university. We also have some teams that are just like 3 or 4 people in a dorm room that are just really into the games, competing as their university's teams. So the amount of engagement there varies, but it's open to anyone. So like as long as you have 3 to 4 people, currently enrolled students from one university, you can apply. You join the Discord, reach out or send an email, and yeah, you just apply for the next season. We try and take everyone regardless of skill level. We do divide people up by divisions, so there's usually tryouts. So if you're a veteran player, you'll be put in a higher division or a lower, I guess, like a Div 1. And yeah, I mean, it's really open. We try and keep it as open as possible. We don't cut teams. We just try and give everybody an opportunity to get involved. And yeah, if people, that's another side of the league too, I guess. There's the competition side and the mentorship side. There's also the kind of support side of, I want to start a VR club, or I want to start a game development club, or I want to, get my university to take esports seriously. There's all kind of different reasons people have for joining and for kind of reaching out for help. And that's something that's been awesome to see, is there's a lot of these more established teams, or people that have been involved in VR clubs and running them for a long time, are able to kind of pass that knowledge on to newer teams and help them get started.
Yeah, cool. Is there any, like, I guess just some like the last things? What have been some, I guess just like more loosely, what are some achievements you guys have gotten so far? Like some big things going on?
Oh man. Well, I mentioned like things have been growing exponentially, so it's been kind of crazy. The first season we had 5 teams participate. That was the first and only time we actually reached out and recruited teams. So since then, all the growth we've had has been just organic, like people hearing word of mouth, friends reaching out to other friends, people watching on Twitch, just kind of the support of the VR community overall. We're now at like 28 or 29 teams this season, which is kind of insane. So yeah, that's been incredible. Just seeing the skill levels improve has been huge. And the quality of the streams. So going from, like I said, like streaming and playing on the same crappy laptop at the same time with no dedicated casters, to having like a casting team. The people that run the Beat Saber tournaments, they're out there casting for 10 hours straight on the weekends. It's usually about a 10-hour stream, which is
Yeah,
pretty
that's
insane. So
intense.
yeah, so it's honestly such a fantastic community, and it's been great to see, to go out to events. So we've been able to participate at things like DreamHack or South by Southwest, and go out and run booths, and meet people that way. And yeah, it's honestly just the growth, I think, has been what surprised me the most.
Yeah, and we can definitely relate to that on the Echo Arena side of us
Mhm.
going into VRML League and everything like that, and seeing we've kind of had the same thing where our numbers have kind of been super small, and it's just climbed insane out of all this. And just real quick, just saying, see Jason's in the chat saying hi, Andy, and hi, Palador. How are you guys doing? Thanks for tuning in, hey guys. But
All, and they say all
I
of our
guess that wraps up
leagues.
some of my questions, though. Sputnik, you got anything to throw in?
Well, it's been. I've worked alongside the CVRE at DreamHack. It was a pleasure to work alongside of you. I mean, it was a great event. We had a lot of fun, and just to see that passion in person, to see this shared, this common bond that we all have towards VR esports, it's a beautiful thing, and it's it's such a great thing to be able to sit back and watch your league develop and become what it's become. Um, and we all look on with this sense of collective pride, and it really is, it's an amazing thing that you have what you have done and what your group has done.
I mean, yeah, it takes a village. Like, we've gotten support from so many people all over the community. It's been super incredible. Because yeah, I mean, we're really all in it to spread VR, spread the love of the game, to get more people playing. I know we've had people tune in, especially in the early seasons. Like, we had a lot of players that were just starting out. They got involved because someone on campus had lent them a VR headset, and they were trying the games for the first time. So the skill levels, started out pretty low, and with each season they've gotten higher and higher. And that's awesome to see people consider, like, hey, I think I'm at a level now where I might want to go play for, another VR league out there. And that's kind of that's huge. That's something that I really love to see. And for Beat Saber as well, playing in community tournaments, and kind of going out to the wider community, giving back to other people in the same way that people have contributed to us. So
And definitely, and not to forget about our absent guest from this stream, Codasleuth, who is starting his own league, the Combat Flamingo League, the Echo Combat Flamingo League, excuse me.
Yes, that is correct. And it's okay. I'm here. Like, I don't think that I can follow up anything that she said any more eloquently than she did. It sounds like a wonderful journey that she's been on, dealing with everything that she's doing. It's great. It's very inspirational.
Well, what do you see with in your own league? What do you want to do? And how can this sense of collaboration and working with one another, how can you grow from that? And we want to see Echo Combat Flamingo League succeed. and maybe have the same type of success that Pizza League had.
Well, honestly, this is new ground for myself. I was an arena player in Echo, but I kind of discovered the game fairly late after the initial release. I probably missed a good maybe year of experience, year and a half on it before I finally discovered it. And that was maybe just maybe 6 months before Combat was going to be released, which I didn't even know about until the last second. Um, the inspiration to try and start a league just came from my own frustration of not having an outlet of camaraderie with other players like I had experienced during the prior ESL season, um, which was my actual first experience in professional esports. And it was just a blast. I experienced bonding with teammates that I hadn't experienced since like maybe I was a little kid. It just brought out the youth in me, and it was yeah very exciting. And then after the season ended, all of that kind of died down for a variety of reasons. Um, and things have just been fading slowly over time. You know, there's new releases within VR, which is wonderful. Like there's more developers getting involved and more games being released, and more interest building. But with that comes from some fragmentation where some players move on to a different game because of different interests, and some people just move on because of their own personal lives. But with every person that leaves, you know, there's 2 or 3 new people that join in, and it's their first time, and it's fun being a veteran player now and being able to teach people things that I remember people were teaching me. Flamingo League, we would love to see it succeed, and we're actually still in the building process. It does not have walls and it does not have a roof over the top of it. Um, we're still kind of like
You got that foundation of solid love.
exactly. We're still sourcing, you know, the hammers, and we're still sourcing the nails, and we're, you know, trying to get the lumber and trying to build this house. And it's been an amazing experience over the past, I would say, a very intense month. It's only been a month since this has been incubating. I've been thinking about doing something for the past maybe 8 months, but just the timing wasn't right. And suddenly I found myself in a position where people wanted to, let's say, join forces or to create a team, a network, and to try and build an infrastructure that didn't and still doesn't exist for combat. That arena, Echo Arena, does have that infrastructure, which took a very large amount of people who were dedicated to the game to build. And just knowing that, you know, people like Palador and other veteran players who sometimes don't even play the game, they just watch and cast all the time now, and I'm sure that they miss playing. But
I still
that's
substitute.
inspirational to see. It's
I,
very inspirational to see how far they've come in uh, a leadership position. You know, it takes a certain personality to not only be a leader, but to be someone that other people want to follow and to join forces with and say, and to get that momentum going. And I really feel like over the past month, things have just been kind of on a roller coaster uh, in terms of progress. Suddenly, I've got people coming out left and right saying they want to, you know, help build this thing, and you know, the developers are jumping on board, and we've got potential sponsors getting involved, and it's just getting a little bit. I feel like I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, so I'm seeking out advice from anyone that has any.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of that grassroots kind of starting point, we kind of had the same thing with Arena, where eventually people were just getting sick of waiting around, waiting for ESL to start getting back into it and with the money and everything. And then Pizza League started. And so it's kind of almost like the same foundation, I guess, where combat finally is just like it's taken long enough to where people are just willing to, hey, let's all get together and start this. So those kind of grassroots movements are super great to see, especially for combat, 'cause it's a great game.
and well, the one thing about Arena is that there are a lot of moving parts in Arena, and there were a ton of contributors. The Arena community is incredibly productive, proactive. With what we've done with VRML, we I feel like I did such a small, like, I was a horrible caster in the preseason in Pizza League, and somehow I've gotten into a groove of being somewhat okay. But Sealable Bag, So Much for Subtlety, Wit, all these individuals puts forth so much effort, and we've created something. Palador too. I mean, that goes without saying. Uh, we've created something that blows ESL out of the water. ESL can't hold a flame next to us, and I'll throw that shade because we have earned it. We have done so much when they have done so little, and with our production, with our limited capabilities, we have created something that is profoundly greater than anything that they could ever think to do. So just saying that.
I think one of the biggest part of that success is everyone seems to be personally vested in it emotionally. You know, everyone wants to make it happen, and the team has made it happen. And VRML is definitely a that's like way far off in the horizon for us. We're it's humble beginnings, and we just want to do our best to get it right on the first try. And I'm fully aware that this is technically not the first try. There have been others who have tried to rally the teams and gather people to make something happen. And it just didn't happen for whatever reason. And hopefully this won't be a failed attempt. We're doing our best to get it right, and we're seeking out any help that we can get, any advice, any suggestions to point us in the right direction, so that even if it starts off slow, it's going to build momentum, and it's going to be solid. And we just want to get that infrastructure down so that we can hold it together and then see how it did, and then try to take it to the next level and progress nice and slowly. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We're not trying to go too crazy. The reference to Pizza League sounds perfect to me. Blindly going into this with an immediate goal of something kind of in between Pizza League and ESL VRML. It's player base, but we also maybe have some sponsors involved. We have complete control over what's involved. So we're kind of opening the door, everything and everyone. People are up and saying, "Hey, help out," and another person does the same, and it's just been a great experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think you've definitely got a good start, right? Like, and I think just having that community, like have a core group of people that you are going to be there for you, and it's alone. It's almost impossible to do alone. It's having that group of preferably, or either they have the skills already that you don't have, or are willing to learn them, and you just kind of cover each other's bases and go from there. It's tough, right? Because when you have leagues like ESL or things like that, where you have a lot of money behind it, or you people that are coming in with a lot of resources or a lot of expertise, they start out with all. Whereas when you're creating a league from scratch, it's piecemeal at the beginning, and you're definitely learning as you go. But yeah, it's got that heart, like you said. There's something to it, like the heart and the passion is there, and people, hours to get things off. When you get that team together, it just, you meet those people that are going to outlast you in the space, or are going to stick around beside you and help make grow. And when you've got that passion, it's really apparent to other people as well. So your passion for combat is contagious, and people will see that and they'll want to be a part of it.
I hope so. And you said it better than I could. I have definitely learned in a very short amount of time how much I don't know, and it's great to have people stepping up to little problems that I wasn't aware of that would be a problem, or to look out for something that I didn't think to look out for, and just hoping for the best.
Well, you
Yeah,
you said to
exactly.
me, if you as much as I hate this Field of Dreams
Oh yeah,
quote,
you love my Field of Dreams reference. Yeah.
if we
If you
build
build
it,
it will come.
well, you're doing it, and I feel like this stream, we're all doers. We know what it takes. You know, lip service only goes so far. You just got to put the pedal to the metal and all those other idioms and phrases, but just do. And that's one thing that I see with your leadership is that you will get it done.
Well, I appreciate the compliment. I don't want to like claim complete leadership of this. As I said, it's definitely a team effort, and I couldn't be doing it without the team that I have. And we need more people to help out, most definitely. In terms of lip service and people who want something to happen but don't step up to do it, I feel that it could be both a short and long road to inspire those people to stop being talkers and to convert into doers, as long as you set a good example and show them that, hey, this is hard, but if you chip away at it little by little, it gets easier and easier and easier, and it grows and grows and bigger. And when things get bigger, they also get more complicated and harder to do. But then also people want to be more involved, and it grows exponentially. And I think what our other guest here has done so far, which completely how do you say it? Not I don't want to say trumps what it is that we're currently doing, but significantly
Cursed word.
Yeah,
Curse
that word is done now. We're not using
Uh,
that word.
it's
You
definitely
could say
like we're like
eclipsed,
I would say
maybe.
eclipse. So we're kind of like a spark, and she's gone the entire journey from being a spark to growing into a complete flame, and it's really inspiring. And I'm really happy to be here on this podcast with her and both you guys as well. This is great. I appreciate you being invited.
Well,
I mean, definitely, we're still in that flame phase, still growing. But like you said, the chipping away, I think a huge part of that chipping away is setting small, realistic goals. I think it's so scary when you're first starting out to think about, like, you look at these big leagues and the non VRE sports out there, and you look at that and you're like, that's what I want my stream to look like, and it's this big kind of scary, unobtainable. But when you break it down into really small goals, like, hey, we want to get graphics made for the next stream, or like small things, I think that's easier to convert from that lip service to the actual actions, and making those like action items for people. I think it's easier than for people to kind of attach themselves to one of them, and then for you to kind of follow up with them and say, hey, how are you progressing on that one small thing, rather than, hey, who wants to like help build this entire thing. Because I think that's the passion's there, so people are going to commit, but they're not going to follow through, and that's definitely something I've seen. And I try not to be hard on people for that, just because we've definitely seen our fair share of people come in with lots of enthusiasm and lots of ideas, and they just don't have the time or the, just the wherewithal at the moment to commit, and that's totally okay. And I've been there. I've definitely been there many times with other commitments. So yeah, I try and just kind of let that go, and cling to the people that I know are really special to the league. So yeah, that's been something that's helped a lot, is and a mistake that I've made many times. Like, and now, like, we're trying to get sponsors, we're working on social media, just looking at really accomplished streamers or really accomplished teams that have amazing social media presence, and just going like, that's what I want ours to be. That'll make me so stressed, and it's hard to kind of build out how I want to get there, that kind of roadmap. But if I take it at one piece at a time, like, hey, let's just kind of work on Facebook first. Let's get a Facebook presence going, or an Instagram presence or whatever. Then that's a lot more obtainable, and it's easier to kind of get people on board to help.
people underestimate just how difficult social media is, and sometimes it just feels like luck, and then half the other time you just feel like you're banging your head against the wall. But once you find like some success and you see that outreach, it feels good. It definitely does.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons why too. Like, I was super excited when you brought Infinite to us, especially to like all of our games, and starting to see how that's going to impact and bring other sponsors or other teams that were interested in like Onward, and then they find Echo Arena and then come over, or just bringing that general interest as well into the community, and being that grassroots driven kind of ties back to into now that we have some more social media interests starting to kind of drift in, seeing where that's going to start to impact other people and start to get success for us.
Yeah, and Maddie touched on this and Coda touched on this. You hit this point of critical mass where everything just starts going, and we haven't found that yet. I feel like we're on the cusp of it. But once, we're this long burning fuse, and we're burning to the end of that dynamite, and we have yet to hit that dynamite. But when we do, we're gonna know it. But talking about pasta salad, I would say if you want to make a good pasta salad, you should boil some macaroni, and then just put 1 part macaroni to 1 part mayonnaise, and keep that ratio, and then just try and eat that.
A little bit of herbs.
There's some green stuff in there, right? Like, just
is there something
look at the cabinet for some green things. And
is there something I'm missing?
It's in the Twitch chat right now. They're getting it out.
I'm focused on all your beautiful faces and my little black infinite nothingness.
I told you to get a webcam. I told you that was the whole shtick.
I was
honestly though, it's kind of I kind of like it. You're like this just voice kind of booming out of the darkness.
See, he's got to get the podcast voice for it though. So, he sells the part.
Yeah.
Now you just need to get us some pasta salad recipes.
Well, it's late here in New York, and I'm trying to speak quietly because my cat is sleeping.
Which one, the friendly one or the angry one?
Both of them.
All right.
Yes, Sput was actually here. He got to meet them in person. They were nice. They're not mean.
They were nice. I kept trying to sleep, and your cat was just like crawling on me and sitting on my chest and like asking for attention. And I'm like, "What are you doing? I'm trying to sleep." And like pushing the cat off, and I would like pick up the cat, put it on the floor, and the cat would just get back on my chest and like nuzzle me. And I'm like, it did this like 3 times.
You realize that's a good.
It's chosen you.
Yeah, I'm trying to sleep. Get off of me. But I really wish you would have a webcam, because you do have one of the greatest living spaces I've ever seen. And
well, you wouldn't get the view of that right now, because I'm in my room, and there's just like audio cables like all thrown everywhere. There's microphones thrown everywhere. I've been doing so much over the past 24 to 48 hours trying to get these streams and casters and everything like in sync. And it's kind of crunch time. We've got like less than 2 weeks before the season starts, and things are coming together, and it's just kind of a big mess. So you wouldn't really want to see what's behind me right now. It's just a big mess.
That's why I'm streaming from my closet. No one's allowed to see the rest of my house.
See, I'm lucky. At least I got.
You can't see how I live.
I'm playing VR, so I don't have to worry about it.
I will, however, put it on the to-do list and to get myself a webcam, please.
I mean, I go to this man's house, right, and his apartment, and I'm just like in awe. It's like this beautiful.
In New York City, we call it a loft.
Well, I mean, I don't want to call it an apartment, because it like is this like amazing just living space, and like because it's a space for living, and you feel in tune with it. I'm like kind of big on interior design, and
it's meager and humble. Okay?
It has. I mean, you have a lot of flora. It's got a good aesthetic. It feels.
Actually, this is a webcam view of it. I have all the lights off right now.
Sputnik, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll eat anything. So I mean, I don't really. I'll eat anything. I'm not
a raw frog. That's what you're going for now.
I'm just imagining Coda to look like a warp gate from what?
Oh, I see the chat now.
What's
yes,
MHA?
For some reason, all the echo-oriented streams turn into cooking shows.
Could we do a cooking show? I'd be so down.
I actually wanted to do a cooking show, and then I was like, I need to buy new kitchen utensils. I was like, people can't look out porn. But I guess that's not funny. But whatever.
Just use your hands.
I mean,
you're a man.
Let me just cut this carrot with the edge of my nail. But can you send me some kombucha?
Oh, me?
Yeah, send me some of that
Oh.
kombucha.
Oh, I don't make that. The girlfriend makes that.
I know, but it's so good.
Ooh.
It is really good.
I'm not a big fan of kombucha. I think it's overrated, but
It's delicious.
it's
got
really
lots of
good.
probiotics. Very good, healthy for the gut.
It's really good.
You see, I'm brainwashed now.
You were like, I don't even care for it. Now you're like, now you're
But
speaking it up.
It's delicious. It's more of a summer thing. Right now, it's all about the kefir milk, which is really healthy. Right? Good stuff.
I haven't
So
had
we
that.
do need a cooking show.
We do
We
need a
do.
cooking show.
I think it's decided.
So what's Brad from God? What's that show where he does all the fermented foods? Do you know what I'm talking about? Does anyone know what I'm talking about?
Well, like a YouTube series?
I think it's called It's Alive. Like he's a YouTube series where he does all these cooking stuff, and he's really funny. We should do that. Just all of our shitty cooking skills together, and we can remotely one item.
Well, don't invite me to that. That's actually where I do professionally. So.
Well, you're not invited because you're a black void and no one can see you.
I couldn't see it anyway. Yeah.
Okay, listen. Like, if you're gonna invite me back to another one of these, I promise to have a whip for that one.
I promise to not be in my closet. Actually, I do not promise that.
Wait, does Powder have a TikTok?
Yeah, I'm going
Is this
to
a
it.
thing?
I'm going to it.
I did not know this was a thing.
We could do like a nighttime one where we're like all outside and we point our webcams up at the sky and see the
I like it.
stargazing podcast.
TikTok.com Palador.
Powder, you gotta stop.
Hire you to do a CVRE TikTok.
We need to reach out to the young over TikTok.
Can
Another
you do
form
some
of social
dances?
Bad Icebreakers Part 3.
Some Powder dance.
How many forms of social media are there?
So Palador is like a surname.
We've got a volunteer.
Ooh, Glitch is stepping up. Let's go.
See, look at that. Look at that for commitment right there.
Right there.
All right, Glitch, it's confirmed.
He's running the TikTok now.
I'm trying to find Palador's TikTok. He doesn't have a TikTok.
We need to get like an event soon.
Where's
That way we can
Palador?
actually
Where's
start
your
getting
Plenty
these
of Fish
TikToks.
profile? Maddie thought that was funny. I got one person with it.
Farmers only.
Farmers.
How many other ones are there? I forgot now.
I don't even know. I don't know.
Oh, Powder bites the dust to Nightbot now. It's finally happened.
I don't even know
Damn.
how to use this thing. How do I kick it? What is the thing for kicking? Help Grandpa.
Nightbot's an automatic program to moderate your chat, and you just have it set to like ultra high. Apparently. It's just like murdering the chat.
I don't know. I'll have it all done the second stream. But the first stream, I think we're doing great. I'm enjoying myself. But yeah, I definitely want you back, Codasleuth, and I want you back with a webcam. And I want
I'll
people
see
to
what I can do.
I want people to see,
I'll put it on the list.
because like, and I want it to be big and wide frame so everyone can see your awesome living space, because that's so cool. Like,
We're all like super minimized in the corner, and then his square is
Massive.
the entire
look at the
screen.
ceiling. It's so nice. Look at
I
all the
don't
light.
think that's gonna happen,
think-
considering my
Picture
battle
before.
station is like way, like not in the nice looking area of the loft. So I'll see what I can do. Maybe I'll rock out some iPad action or something. I don't know. I'm sorry to disappoint my viewers.
You've already got people interested. I mean, they love your soothing voice because they definitely can't see who you are. But they want
It
to
adds
join.
to the intrigue, like the mystery. You're signing up. You're signing away your life to this mysterious black void.
Well, it's one of those ultra sensory things where you know how like deaf people have better sense of touch or sight, and blind people have sense of hearing, and it's just all these interesting things where, you know, if you don't have one thing, then you overcompensate for it in the next one. So that's why hence the smooth, sultry voice.
So what you're telling us is that you do have a webcam and it's on, but you just leave your house
No.
pitch black at all times, so
No.
that therefore you have better hearing
Okay,
and sense
like,
of awareness during combat.
okay, like everyone's gonna hate me when I say this, but let me count the number of actual cameras that could be employed at this moment. Let's see. One on this laptop that's like hooked up to like something that is not connected to this. I got my phone, I got an iPad, and then I got this unplugged old iMac from like 2012 that I'm trying to like tech out or some shit. I don't know why. It's like all a side project. None of those things are like, okay, I have 5 minutes, I can set this up. Like that's not going to happen. But those things are surrounding me right now. So next time.
What if you duct taped your phone to your computer?
He actually thinks about it.
I have seen.
Well, I'm considering it, but see, my monitor is like a matte screen without a glass cover, and I can't damage this like the matte non-reflective. I can't put tape on that. It's not gonna work.
I'm trying to
I've actually seen
find.
some people
Stream.
using phones though for webcams though, like on their streams and stuff. Like especially like, I may have made fun of a kid on Echo Arena, provoking some just like jokes with him about his play space, and then the next day I saw him. He had his phone propped up on his monitor, and it actually didn't look too bad. So it could be pretty viable.
So I'm not even sure how I would do that. Like how would I even do? I'm tech savvy, but I'm only.
Why
I'm
don't
not
you?
sure.
I'll drive up to New York next week.
Yeah. Well, okay, that might be a little bit soon. Like I got a lot of work to do. Over the next, like,
Just shows up unannounced.
Actually, you know what? I could use you. I could put you to work. There's a lot of things that need to be done for the league. So
Yeah.
like, if you're
If you
physically
pay
here,
for
that
my
would really help.
gas, I'll drive up.
Okay, we'll start. We'll start a donation fund over. We got enough people in the chat. I think we can get you up here. Pretty
They're
quick.
starting a Patreon.
I mean, I could hop on the Chinatown bus for like $20. I'll show up on Thursday.
Well, you're just gonna use me for free food. I know.
I mean, you have like a kitchen full of like dry goods. I can make pasta every day.
Can you cook spud? I don't believe it.
I can cook.
Yo, we can do a pasta
I
salad.
think you should accept this deal, but only if he wears the apron while he makes the pasta.
I do.
Kiss the cook.
Kiss the
Oh my god.
And we can stream it live.
It'd be perfect.
We actually should. And then you
fun.
we have to bam. I guess
it
no
could
one
be
knows.
100 ways to cook with a potato, and it'll just be sputs and spuds. It'll be great.
There we go.
Spud was already hitting on me pre-stream earlier. Hey, did anyone tell you you're beautiful today? Did anyone tell you, Coda, that you're beautiful?
Hang on a second.
Checks through all of his DMs.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if beautiful is a word. Why, are you going to call me beautiful?
You're beautiful.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, I already did. Yeah.
I think I said that to you when I saw you. As soon as I got a... Well, you know what the first thing he says to me when he sees me? He says, "Oh, you don't look as militant as you sound." I'm like, okay. I thought it was priceless.
Bud is a good example of an online personality that is a blur of his in-person personality, but it's both, but also yet not. So it was a surprise meeting in person.
Well,
I was like, oh, this is expected, but also not expected.
Well, you didn't know what I looked like, right?
I did not, even though like I had seen like your picture, your photo, or even you on like video. Like I don't know. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
What were you? Now I'm curious.
But the funny thing is that when I was walking up to you for the first time to say what's up, you had actually texted me and told me where you were, but I didn't see that message until after. So as I'm walking up, I knew that was you. So I was like, yeah, that's the guy. Yeah, it looks a little rough around the edges. That's gotta be him.
It's gotta be him.
I've heard
That's
all
it,
the
Chief.
stories. I've heard the stories. That's totally him. Sack tossed over his shoulder. Traveling the earth, walking the land.
Oh, yeah, I got the full spot experience at DreamHack.
Oh yeah, I think I only got the partial spot experience. We spent, what was it? You happened to be in town for Christmas, right?
Yeah, that was before my flight to Israel. Yeah, so I was there in Christmas.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good night. It was fun. It was good. I wish that we had more people to meet in person. I wasn't able to go to OC6, and a lot of people that a lot of teammates that I played with over this last season, and a lot of people on the other teams, spectators, people involved with media groups. They were all there, and I was like, oh, I feel so left out. But
OC6 was a blast, yeah.
I know. Please,
need to go next time.
You missed Robo Creator locking himself into like a fire escape or whatever the hell that was. He locked himself into some room and he had to yell to like send help. This was after the open bar too. So we just look at Discord. He's like pinging everybody and just see, hey, I'm locked in. And he's like, I don't know how to get out. The doors are locked. And so they like sent out like a kind of like a dispatch to go find him. And Maven from the community found him. Yeah, locked in the convention center.
Stories like that make me feel like I miss out on a lot, and I heard a lot of
Yeah, it was just meeting people though. I mean, you talk about meeting Sputnik, but just seeing people behind what's in the VR headset.
I said the other day in a chat, I was like, I'm nothing like my online personality. And QL Young goes, you're everything like your online personality.
You're like this blur. It's like you are, but you yet are not. I don't know. I think that you switch personalities per person that you meet. It's like every person that meets you gets a unique version, personalized for them.
A customized version of Sputnik.
Customized Sput.
Yeah.
To order.
I mean, I was a little reserved. I mean, you guys, you're a personality too. So, and your buddy, I met his buddy Rajan, and that man is an absolute blast.
Oh, he's a nutcase.
I love him. He gave me a watch that I will treasure forever.
Where is it? I don't see you wearing it.
I was actually looking for it. Here, let me see. Take over the conversation while I try and find this watch.
You better find that thing. That's got sentimental value. Not to me though. My friend tried to pawn this watch on me for like the past year, or maybe even longer. He's had this old Casio digital watch that just hopefully Sput can find it. It just so happens to be like the exact same watch that there's just like an ironic joke. There it is.
But tell them the story behind it that made me had me laughing on the floor.
So my friend, he's an old bandmate of mine. My friend, he has a brother who they were out one day and his brother told him this, joke, or showed him a story of like Osama bin Laden, which is not funny stuff, but
I think it's funny. I think I haven't.
And so apparently there's a photo online where it shows Osama bin Laden wearing this exact watch. Somehow my friend got a hold of like 2 or 3 or 4, I don't know, like a whole box of these watches, and he was just pawning them off on people. Like,
whoa, there's a big difference between 2 or 3 or 4 and a whole box of these watches.
I have no idea how many he actually had. All I know is that he was down to like the last one, pawning it off on me for the past year. I don't need another electronic I have to hold, carry, keep track of. Just no, I don't need anything. So when Sput was he just here, oh, a gift
for me.
For me, it's beautiful. The beautiful Casio watch.
So now everywhere he goes, everyone's gonna think he's a terrorist, which he is. A social terrorist.
He is now.
He said when you guys were trying to set this up, I don't know if our viewers are aware of this, but I had some technical difficulties because Bud decided to tell me that I needed to be on this about 15 minutes prior to when he was con, which I was in VC for like 3.5 hours before him contacting me, and I didn't get the pings because for some reason Discord doesn't give me pings. Is that it? Is that the one? How the cast TF91W became the most watched. Yeah. And what was I saying?
Oh, it's water resistant. Oh, you said you were in DC.
There we go.
Oh, I was in VC. I was just in voice chat.
VC, I thought you said D.
Sput contacts me and said, "This software, you need to have this software. Where you need to, here's the password. Here's the login." It wasn't working, so
This
he
is how you.
somehow had it work by
So
internet magic.
this is how you know that my stream is absolutely bizarre. When I have pictures of Osama bin Laden with this watch, but your buddy was a trip. I loved him.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
Well,
god.
Sput, you are full of internet magic.
Hey.
There it is. That's the watch right there. That's the one.
Sputnik. On different notes, if you check your DMs on Discord real quick, we have the palette.
Also, I love you went to the effort of getting people to put usernames, and then we're just special guests at the bottom.
Look, I never said I was good at this. I said I was trying.
I never said you were good at this either. Or did I? I don't remember.
So we
These
are
are
now
fun.
looking at Palidor's TikTok. Let's go to that.
Oh, I'm missing out on this. Something could just
Wait,
share in the group
Yeah,
chat, please.
Yeah. There.
This is important.
There you go.
business.
Look at
Thank
that
you.
hair. Look at that beautiful hair. Cannot ride a bike. I don't. Is there audio for all of this?
She says, "Believe it or not, I cannot ride a bike."
Oh, the hair.
I
the
say,
hair's fantastic.
"Ah, it's not that hard. It's just like riding a bike." She says,
I don't know. I
"Believe it or
don't get it.
Is the hair real? It looks real. I think
It
it's
is real.
Yeah, it's real. It's real.
Is Palidor even real?
Is Palidor even? I've met the man.
Because I've never, and I've never.
Oh, my audio's cutting out.
I don't think. I kind of think.
Is he
You
cutting
know,
out?
I've met him in person many times. Sure.
All natural, baby. That's right. That's what I like. Nice.
So, I think I'm. Can you guys hear me? As I break
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So we are still here. But yeah. So that's the story of how I
Super-
met. I met Rojan and I got this watch, which I will cherish
Oh, yeah.
forever.
Did you learn how to program it yet?
What? Oh yeah, I did. Well, I'm in Israel, right? And I have this 30-year-old watch that goes beep 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 beep, and like I'm in the middle of a market in the middle of the day, and it goes off, and like everyone starts staring at me, and I'm like fiddling to try and turn this watch off, and like I'm getting nervous, and I ended up just figuring out how to silence it. But yeah, this was an awful watch to get before I traveled to that part of the country, part
To
of the
be
world.
fair, when he gave it, you accepted it. He distinctly said,
Let's.
Is he cutting out?
That doesn't
No.
sound like a gift. That sounds like a burden.
A burden?
"A
Just a
burden?
little bit.
Something to program? You have to program everything now, don't you?
That's
Every-
true.
But not Palidor, because he's all natural, baby.
I mean, look at his hair. It's flowing and beautiful.
Can
You
we
gotta
do
clip
that?
powder. You gotta clip that out there. Clip that section, and you gotta use that to promote yourself. That's a perfect commercial.
Wait, the flop? Are you talking about his flop?
No, you're just your voiceover.
Oh,
It's all natural. Yeah.
all natural, baby.
Maybe he's born with it. Maybe it's Maybelline. Maybe...
Watch them hit you with the cease and desist.
Maybelline, if you want to sponsor this, look at my beautiful hair. I will definitely take your shampoo and conditioner
No,
product.
I'm sorry, Spud. It's Palidor with the beautiful hair. Just look at those locks. Come on. I'm still at his TikTok, so I don't know about you guys.
Yo, he's asking what is the flop.
What
The
is the
flop?
flop?
Mm-hmm.
There's like a flop hanging. Like it's a good thing. It's a
Mhm.
good It's not a problem.
Yeah, just like a description of his hair.
Yeah, there's
Yeah. That's all it is.
A flop. So it's
There's-
like a little bit of hair just dangling over, like so.
he's just got a toss.
The dots.
It's on the side.
He's not amused.
I dig it. It's hip. It's cool. It's better than mine. That's
So
why
are we just this channel now? We're gonna critique the hairstyles of the Echo community one by one.
People are like, I want to learn about the game. I want to see game clips. No, we're talking about Osama bin Laden. We're talking about hair
And
conditioner.
haircuts.
We're having fun here. This is what the stack is about.
I feel like it's a little unfair though, because the three of you have hung out and met like so many more people than I have. I have one. I got one. I don't know. You guys got 20, 100. It's not fair. Somebody buy me a ticket to OC7.
Yeah, I can't wait for OC7. I hope there's gonna be something like a little bit before it, but I doubt.
Well, hopefully we can get. There was talk about Infinite doing a LAN in North
Right.
Carolina, and I definitely dropped the ball with that. I have to follow up with management, but I'm trying. I'm doing my best. And Coda, you can always drive down, or I can always.
With what car?
Well, you can
Brooklyn
take the
ate my
train
car,
down.
Doc.
Take the train, and I'll pick you up.
Brooklyn ate my car 10 years ago. It just like took a big giant chomp out of it, and then that was it.
Well, you take the train down. You can take the Amtrak down. I can pick you up from the station.
With flowers.
With flowers.
See, I like the way she thinks. That's good. Why don't guys get guys flowers like in non-romantic?
I'll get you another one of
Bye,
these
Ben.
watches.
Flowers.
You're like, hey friend, here, and a smoothie. I want a smoothie with my flowers though.
All right. Do
Ooh.
you want like a nutritious fruit smoothie or like?
No, man, I want like a really fatty, tasty, like berry one, like
Dude, give me that strawberry banana.
stuff in there. Like what do they put in lots of those healthy smoothies? Like, they put like bees urine.
What are you talking about? What?
Pollen.
Bee
The
pollen.
bee.
She knows.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Makes
Ew.
more sense. I was like, what is he talking
She
about?
has built a league. She knows things that other people don't know. Okay.
You're
She
gonna
said-
get you're gonna get frozen berries and yogurt.
See? Flowers and bee pollen and smoothies. That's all I ask. And a successful launch of Flamingo League.
I like how you got that. You got that in. You got all the bases covered.
I hope so. We're hoping that we're going to bring a lot of the arena players back across the fence. Back on this topic again, back to the inspiration of it, there's been a kind of a self-segregation amongst a large amount of the community. Everyone has their preferences of games, fair enough. You have the things that you like about things you don't like, for whatever reason, personal.
Mhm.
But there's definitely an overlap between these two particular games. And the devs are aware of it, the players are aware of it. There's some people who play Arena professionally, just for fun, and they also play Combat for fun. And there's some players that are going to play in Flamingo League. And I'm personally hoping that we have more people who, if they have the free time between their VRML matches, to throw together a team and inspire other people to put together a team, and maybe give Combat another try. If you don't like it, maybe it's just because you don't have the right people to play with on a team. Because I know for me personally, even if I don't like something, or if I'm not enjoying something, if I find faults with it, which I can find faults with anything, if I have the right people with me, it's still a lot of fun. And for me, that's the most important part of this, is that it's about everybody having fun, having a good time, and building the player base for both Arena and Combat, and kind of desegregating everyone, and just rebuilding the community from the ground up. Even though one half is thriving significantly more than the other, it would be really great if some of the significantly more seasoned players on Arena, which has been going on for years longer than Combat, if they could maybe try and bring a little bit back to the Combat community, and show us their support and show us that they want us to succeed, and maybe even to partake, even if it's just for 1 or 2 stages of the season, because it's going to be a long season. It's going to be about 12 to 14 weeks, and it's broken up into 4 stages, and then we have the last chance qualifier. Well, last chance qualifier is 4th stage, and then we have finals. But teams can enter at any point, and you don't have to stick around for the whole thing. There's going to be winners and prizes for every single stage up until the finals. So even if you don't make it to finals, or you don't want to finish, your team breaks up, if you win a stage, then you're still a winner in our book. And it would be great if some of the arena community could join in for the fun. It's going to be awesome.
Support each other, grow each other.
Yeah, exactly. And I know there's a lot of interest still, even on the arena side. I mean, a lot of the combat guys kind of went over to arena so they were able to compete and kind of keep that interest in the game. But with the introduction of that league, especially with you guys are running, I know a lot of people are going to go back, and a lot of the arena guys are interested too. I mean, I know YouTube, for example, on our team, he was super interested, hit 50 in combat right away, and was super into all that. So we've kind of had discussions of just like trying to like maybe just dabble in and do it for fun too. So I know that has definitely been going around the community, and it's definitely going to be big just to see that kind of support to go back and forth, and how much arena has grown just from the competitive league. It's going to be interesting to see how much combat's going to end up growing with it.
I hope so. We're going to need time. Everyone, just be patient with us and bear with us. There's going to be growing pains. There's already growing pains happening. And it's just going to be, hopefully, a very long and productive road. And we'll see when we get there. And Palador, I am looking, and that's great. Thank you. I love he gave me a personalized flop. I love it.
Yeah, it was a beautiful TikTok. He added another one.
Can we stop using this word flop? I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of flop.
Dude, he is mad styling. That's all I can say.
Oh, dude, he's running that haircut.
How long?
That's perfect, and that TikTok is beautiful. Yeah.
So we have been on for a while. I mean, this has been a very good podcast. I mean, I've had fun. If I had fun, then I don't care about the audience. This is all for me. No, this has been really good. I think we should wrap it up.
I need to eat.
Yeah, you need to get out of your closet. The mothballs smell bad.
Never.
And Coda, the invisible void that you are, you get whipped.
I'm gonna work on that. Okay, just don't hit me up tomorrow 5 minutes before your podcast.
I'm gonna show up at your work tomorrow and be like, I'm ready to work.
No, don't do that. I will count you as a stalker.
All right.
Really weird.
Well, with that said, Maddie from CVRE, thank you for joining us, and Codasleuth from the Echo Combat Flamingo League, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It was wonderful.
And AndyW.
Thank you for putting this all together.
Yeah, thanks for coming in.
I think it went pretty well. I don't know.
I think it went great. You guys are great. Everyone's great here.
Everyone's great. I do think that. I really do. I think this was fun. And Andy, thank you for being a friend, for being a part of this, and helping me get through the first episode. And I thank all of you, and I thank the viewers, and I hope you come back for the next one, because it will be even better. And with that being said, I'm going to transition us to the stream ending, and goodbye.
Hugs.
Hugs.
Hugs and high fives. All right.
There's a stream delay, so I can't see my hug. I don't know if it actually.
I'm getting you all. I'm getting you all right now. You're all getting high fives. All right.
Oh, there it is. I saw it. Good night, guys.
Did you feel it? I felt it. Good night.
I felt it.
Good night.
Bye.
All the way over on the West Coast.
And hold on. Wait, I didn't cut the audio yet. Wait.
Shall we not call quits and start again?
You're very puzzling, Darcy. At this moment, it's difficult to believe that you're so proud